This is a quick video how to create a message transfer on Teraview. First of all, when you log into your Teraview, you should insert the search for the docket that particularly you want to create the transfer in. So you need a docket, or you can create a new docket if you'd like. So once you're in the docket, you double click, make sure you're in the right land registry office, right? And assuming you already know the PIN number for your property, you already searched the property, you can click on create new. Here's the create new instruments, all the instruments that you can create. Instruments is the documents. So instruments that you can create in Teraview. Presumably right now we want to create a transfer, so we click create. If you notice, there's several other transfers available. These are more sophisticated and not the subject of this video, and most likely you would not be creating them in the first few years of your practice. So for example, I inserted right now the PIN number. It automatically found the property with the address. So just verify that this is your property. The transferor I put myself. The transferor, you should choose the appropriate statements. First of all, you always choose statement 11. I'm at least 18 years of age. Then you choose the spousal statement. There's several spousal statements. I'm not a spouse. The property not ordinarily occupied by me and my spouse would most likely be property that your client is renting and they reside in some other property, although you can still choose the spousal consent. I am a spouse and I'm transferring property for myself. This is just to sever joint tenancy, very rarely used. Here's the mostly often used statement. My spouse and I are party to this document. And this can be used in matrimonial home and also in investment property. If the spouse is available to consent, or you can also look at the previous instruments like charge and see which statements were selected at that time. Then once you choose these two statements, the next one is other statements. It's most commonly used statement 2909. This document is not authorized under power of attorney. REITs, we do not do anything before closing. And then here's you insert the address of the client. This would be the address for service. So if this is an investment property or the cottage property, make sure you do not put the cottage property as a address for service and choose the address that is on the client's driver's license. That is extremely important because all the bills and other notifications will be sent to that address. The transferee would be name of the other party, family name, right? So that would be somebody who your client is selling to. Presumably you acted for the sale, and this is why you create this transfer. So for the purchaser, which is not your client, you would not choose a capacity unless it is in your requisition letter, and then you want to choose the capacity. If it's just one person, that would be registered owner. If two or more people, then typically would be either joint tenant or tenants in common, depending what you see on the requisition letter. If there is nothing, you just leave that blank. And also birth date, if you see them on the requisition letter, it's a good practice to add them here. However, you don't have to. You can leave it to the lawyer who is acting for the purchaser. Same for address for service. Automatically, you will see the address of the property inserted here. However, you don't have to insert it. You can leave it also for the lawyer on the other side. It's a good practice if you have a requisition letter with all this information. It's really good practice to do this work for your fellow lawyer. The plain act statement, in this case, this is a condominium, so we do not use family law act statements for the condo. Otherwise, we will always choose family act statements for both of the lawyers, the transferor and the transferee, so meaning the seller and the purchaser. These statements I rarely use. This is typically some kinds of schedules and other type of transactions not applicable to regular purchase and sale transaction. The tax statement, I have a separate video how to complete the tax statements. Please refer to this one. So then they go to the message and you compose the message. Once you click compose the message, it will automatically show you which transfer you are messaging. It says transfer one. Typically, we can change the name of the document here. You can say 260 Merton Street, the address, for example, or you can put the name of the client. So now if you save, you can see that the name of the transfer changed. Then you message the transfer compose message. It's automatically, this document is selected here. If you know the name of the lawyer or the clerk to whom you message, and you can put it here. Or say, for example, you only know last name and first name, and you don't know because last name and first name of the lawyer, not necessarily the name that they use in Teraview. In Teraview is using the full name of the lawyer. So if I put percentage sign and last name of the lawyer, sort of, well, let's say my partner, Friedman, then, and you click find, it will automatically search everybody with the last name Friedman. So then you add, you can see that the recipient of the message, obviously the instrument message, and then you can add the message itself. You can say, for example, transfer from Zotov, or, for example, typically you say Zotov sale to name of other client. You can also put the address. This is for the benefit of the other lawyer. And that's it. And then you click send. That's this it will be messaged. In other words, we use the word message for basically giving access to Alex Friedman for that document. So you giving access to your document that you just created to another lawyer. Obviously, if you go back and change anything, then the other lawyer will see this document with the changes that you made, because both of you are now accessing the same document that is saved in the cloud of Teraview. Then you can click save and close that transfer.